grade friends, Mrs. Tyson here. Just wanted to say happy Wednesday, and our target for today is going to be RL 1.3. What does that mean? Describe the characters, setting, and major events in a story using key details. So let's talk about our questions, and this goes along with our other standard that we talked about on Monday. So our questions for today that we're gonna ask ourselves is, who is in the story? Remember the who, say who with me, who are the characters in the story. And our characters can be people, but it can also be animals. So remember, we're going to be looking at the who in the story. The next question we're gonna ask ourselves is, where is the story taking place? So remember, where is the setting of the story? And I drew a picture of a little house, or it can be outside like it was on Monday when Fluffy planted his jelly bean. Now, the last question we're gonna ask ourselves is, what happened in the story? So what happened in the story? Say what with me? Good, what? What happened is going to answer the events in the story. So first, next, and last. So we're gonna look at what happens first in the story, next in the story, and last in the story today. So on Monday, I told you that we were still reading about Fluffy. Do you remember what kind of animal Fluffy was? Good, it was a hamster. So we're gonna read a story. It's called Fluffy, Jack, and the Jelly Bean Beanstalk. Now remember, on Monday, Fluffy had planted a jelly bean, and Emma and Wade thought that it wouldn't grow. So do you think the jelly bean's going to grow in the story? Good, remember we're making inferences. So what I want you to do while I'm reading today is we're going to describe the characters, setting, and major events while we read. Are you ready? Awesome. So our story today is called Fluffy, Jack, and the Beanstalk. Have you ever read a story called Jack and the Beanstalk? You have? I have read it too, and it's actually a fairy tale. So what's going to happen in this story is there's going to be things that wouldn't normally happen because it's a story and it's literature. So it was almost summer. After lunch, Mrs. Day had opened all the windows. She read the class a story. Fluffy closed his eyes and listened. Once upon a time, read Mrs. Day, and once upon a time usually starts off fairy tales. A poor widow needed money to buy food, so she sent her son. So this page answers who is in the story. Good. On this page, Mrs. Day is reading a story, and Fluffy is listening. So what happens next is Fluffy's going to imagine himself being Jack in the Beanstalk, because that's what fairy tale the class is reading. So from now on, we're going to look at who is in the story, where the story is taking place, and what happened, because this is Fluffy's imagination. Fluffy Jack, to sell the cow. How much money did you get? His mother asked when he came home. No money, said Fluffy Jack. I sold the cow for magic jelly beans. Magic jelly beans, cried his mother. Phooey. She threw them out the window. Maybe they will grow, said Fluffy Jack. They won't grow, said his mother. So who is in the story, Fluffy Jack and the Beanstalk? Awesome. The mother, Fluffy Jack's mom, and Fluffy Jack. Let's read on to see what happens. That night, Fluffy Jack looked out the window. He saw a big green stalk shoot out of the ground. It grew right where the magic jelly beans had landed. I knew that would grow, said Fluffy Jack. So the beans that the mom threw out the window actually grew into a stalk. Fluffy Jack ran outside. He began to climb the jelly bean stalk. Up, up, up he went. So that's an event in the story. That's what happened in the story. So first, his mom threw out the jelly beans, and the jelly beans grew into a stalk. Let's read on to see what happens in the story. At last, Fluffy Jack came to a land where above the clouds. He saw a big castle. He walked up to the door and slipped inside. Fluffy Jack saw a giant. He was holding a little hen. "Lay me a golden egg," said the giant. "No way," said the hen. The giant put the hen down. So now we have some more characters in our story. Who did we see on this page? Good. The giant, and we saw a hen. Let's see what happens to the giant and the hen and Fluffy. The giant sniffed the air. He yelled, "Fee, fi, fo, figgy. I smell the blood of a guinea piggy, and I'm going to eat him up." Fluffy Jack jumped into a flower pot and hid. Uh-oh. So now the giant said he's going to eat Fluffy Jack. Fluffy Jack's hiding. Let's see what happens to Fluffy Jack. At last, the giant fell asleep. Fluffy Jack hopped out of the pot. He picked up the hen and ran to the jelly bean stalk. So he took the giant's hen. Fluffy Jack climbed down the jelly bean stalk. He gave the hen to his mother. "Have a golden egg," said the hen. "Wow," said Fluffy Jack's mother. "Thanks." So the hen actually gave Jack and his mom a golden egg. Let's see what happens next. The next night, Fluffy Jack climbed up the jelly bean stalk again. He went into the giant's castle. Now the giant had a golden harp. This is what a harp looks like. You can play music on it. "Play Pop Goes the Weasel," said the giant. "Not again," said the harp. So we know the story is make-believe because a harp couldn't talk. The giant sniffed the air. He yelled, "Fee, fi, fo, figgy. I smell the blood of a guinea piggy, and I'm going to eat him up." Fluffy Jack dove into the flower pot again. He hid until the giant fell asleep. What do you think Fluffy Jack's going to do? Good. Remember, he stole the hen from the giant. What do you think he's going to steal from the giant now? The harp. Let's read on to find out. The giant began to snore. Shh. Fluffy Jack hopped out of the pot. He picked up the harp, ran to the jelly bean stalk, and climbed down. You were correct. Kiss your brain. Awesome. Fluffy Jack gave the harp to his mother. "Would you like to hear Jelly Bean Rock?" said the harp. "I love that song," said Fluffy Jack's mother. "Me too," said the hen. So now Fluffy Jack has the harp and the hen from the giant. Let's see what happens next. The next night, Fluffy Jack climbed up to the jelly bean stalk again. He pushed open the door of the castle, but this time the giant was waiting for him. Uh-oh. "Yikes," said Fluffy Jack. "Yikes is right," said the giant. "I'm going to make me a guinea pig pie." Let's see what happens. Fluffy Jack ran back to the jelly bean stalk. He slid down so fast his pants were smoking from the friction of the stalk. "Help," he called. "The giant is after me." "Get the axe and chop down the stalk," said the hen. "We don't have an axe," said Fluffy Jack's mother. The giant was climbing down fast. Uh-oh, let's see what happens. "Get the saw and saw down the stalk," said the harp. "We don't have a saw," said Fluffy Jack's mother. The giant was almost down. "Uh-oh," said Fluffy Jack. Fluffy Jack began to chew up the jelly bean stalk. He chewed and chewed. The stalk began to wobble. So what did Fluffy Jack do to solve his problem? Awesome. So he began to chew down the stalk. But let's see what happens. But the giant was climbing down too quickly. One Bigfoot was about to touch the ground. The giant was coming. He had to chew faster and faster and faster. And that's actually where our story ends. So do you think he chewed fast enough for the giant to fall? Well, we will find out next Monday when we continue reading the story. So for now, let's go over our targets that we talked about. So we talked about who is in the story. Can you shout out who is in the story? Good. Jack's mom, Fluffy Jack, the hen, right? The harp, and the giant. Okay, where was the story taking place? Good. So Jack's house, Fluffy Jack's house, and remember Jack climbed up the stalk to the giant's house. So Jack kept going to the giant's house each night. Okay, now from the last question is what happened in the story? So what I want you to do is I want you to tell me what happened first in the story, what happened next in the story, and what happened last in the story. That's what I want you to do. So you're going to divide your paper up into 3 parts, and you're going to draw me a picture of first, next, and last. So what did Jack do first, next, and last with the giant? So what you're going to do is you're going to draw me a picture of what happened first, next, and last to Jack and the giant. And then on the back, if you want to put what's going to happen at the end, you can do that too. Also, if you would like to retell the story to someone at home, what happened first, next, and last, you can do that as well. Boys and girls, I am so proud of what you did today. And all my first grade friends are doing such an amazing job with these lessons. I hope you have the most wonderful Wednesday, and I will see you again next Monday. Bye for now.